Welcome to our executive interview series at the FedScoop Federal Forum, sponsored by Workday. I'm Wyatt Cash with Scoop News Group, and we're here with Yoko Jolly, Senior Vice President, Federal and Public Sector at CrossVue. Yoko, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
So first, I'd like to ask, what key steps can agencies take to leverage modern HR management systems, not only to run more efficiently, but to build a more agile and skilled workforce?
Yeah, thanks for asking that question. I think that's what it's all about, is building an agile and skilled workforce. That's what anyone wants, right? So I think there are a number of things that agencies can do, but I'm going to touch on three that I think are probably the really important at this moment in time. First is to really lean into some of these new platforms' capabilities around AI driven data analysis to really understand your talent pool, understand what your organization currently looks like, understand what you need in order to deliver on your missions, what are those skills gaps, and really use that data and dashboarding provided in tools like Prism, which is happens to be one of Workday's analytics capabilities to make data-driven decisions, right, about your workforce. And then secondly, kind of using some of that data, do some real conscientious and deliberate workforce planning. So take that data and map out, over the next few years, over the next 6 months, over the next year, over the next few years, what do you want your agency to look like? What do you need to deliver on those missions? And then how do you actually use the data that you have about your current talent, the gaps that you have between where you need to be and where you are now, to then make deliberate decisions about how you want your workforce to look like in the future, and then kind of codify it into your tool, right? So that you're actually working against the plan and planning it in the tool. So I think that's number two. And finally, skills-based hiring, I think, is something that is very important to this administration. And I think that agencies can use platforms like Workday to be able to look beyond kind of the credentialing of their workforce and look at kind of their skills and competencies and have kind of a common vernacular and establish that within a system to be able to track and understand where the skills and competencies are. It just gives them additional data, right, for them to be able to plan. And it also empowers employees then to look at, how are my skills and competencies? How do they compare to, what's needed for the next step in my career?
Well, terrific. Yoko Jolly, thank you so much for joining us here at the FedScoop Federal Forum.
Okay, thank you. Pleasure to be here.